Cause I'm about that. Cause I'm about that. I'm about that come up, running up on the booze and talking foolish. Try to get them funds up, killing the mic just like I ran and jewels in. Y'all gonna get done up front, knowing that kid with an attitude, but you can't really blame this motherfucker. Do what he had to do. I'm about that cash flipping, I'm getting it on and off the market. Not about that VIP, not me, not never been a fan of carpets. All about that RIP for all of my Jesus gone departed. All about that finish when I started. I'm about that.
Top down all night, you're not ready. We ride, cause we're about that. So high, we see the whole city. We own the night. Down all night, you're not ready. We ride, cause we're about that. So high, we see the whole city. We own the night.
Know that I'm about it. Wanna man, I can bring the drama, but it ain't by chance that I'm fucking rapping. You don't really want a problem. Made a little cash in the back end, but still rapping, they call me starving. Yeah, y'all gotta ask who the man is. Hope I'm gonna be like, beg your pardon. I'm about that.
Top down all night, you're not ready. We ride, cause we're about that. So high, we see the whole city. We own the night. Down all night, you're not ready. We ride, cause we're about that. So high, we see the whole city. We own the night.
And welcome in, ladies and gentlemen. It is the YSN Power Hour, a Tuesday edition. And ladies and gents, welcome to September. Hard to believe that we are already in the 9th month of the year. Some people counting down the days till 2020 is over, and I feel like it's just begun. So let's get things kicked off by celebrating National Chicken Boy Day, which I'm looking at it, and this is the way it reads. On September 1st, National Chicken Boy Day honors the birthday of an interesting statue in California. Celebrate his ceremonial birthday and learn more about his unique creation. It's Chicken Boy, standing 20 feet tall and holds a bucket of chicken. So basically what this boils down to is it's a giant statue that is used for promotional purposes for a chicken outlet. He joins other notable characters such as Big Boy and, of course, the widely regarded Ronald McDonald. So happy National Chicken Boy Day to all of you guys. It's a quaint crowd here on the Power Hour. We invite dogs as well. Paul, is that your dog?
Yeah, unfortunately, there's somebody in the driveway and he wants to bark.
And you know what they say, dogs don't bark unless you're on the front porch. So we'll just leave it there. What's your favorite statue when it comes down to this stuff? I mean, like, you talk about Chicken Boy, which we had no idea what the hell it was. Talk to me about, like, do you remember growing up and seeing all these statues? I remember the Big Boy statue with the, him standing there with the burger. I remember the Ronald McDonald. It seemed like he's always on a bench, right? Like, so he's sitting next to you and stuff. Ronald kind of creeps me out to this day. But, I mean, what about you guys? What statues or stuff do you remember about, fast food restaurants and some of the weird stuff that they did? Billy, we'll start with you.
Probably like the old school McDonald, like the Hamburglar. That was probably when they had all those.
Rubble.
Yeah. So that was probably one of the coolest ones.
What about you, Paulie? I mean, you've been around a couple ice cream seasons. What do you think?
Yeah, I mean, the ones that I remember big time was definitely, McDonald's. You'd go in there and there'd be, Grimace. He was just a big purple blob. You never really understood what Grimace was, but Grimace was there, and the Hamburglar and all those guys, the little McNugget guys, and then the Fry guys. It was McDonald's obviously was really trying to attract a lot of the kids, to get their parents to take them there. So I mean that was their big hook and their big shtick. So it was I remember them a lot.
All right, you said Grimace. If there was a Grimace at YSN, is there any?
Well,
I was going to say, is there anybody that doubts who Grimace would be here?
I think Ron Batista might be our Grimace.
No, he's definitely the Hamburglar.
Oh, that's true.
All the food that goes missing from this place, he rubbles the hell right out of here at 3:00 with his hands full of. I think today was Doritos. So
yeah. Jeff would be Grimace, the big
Jeff
purple
is
blob.
definitely Grimace. I don't even know if Grimace made a sound, but he's our YSN Grimace. Quinn, let's go down to you back in the G. Burbick Farm studio. I mean, do you remember growing up in any of these fast food restaurants and kind of being creeped out by statues or something like that?
I mean, I think like I was part more like when restaurants kind of started using like live things. Like Like the Taco Bell had that dog that they used, and obviously the Chick-fil-A cow is what I think of a lot of because I like Chick-fil-A. So
You look Chick-fil-A. Are you Chick-fil-A or what's the other one? The Canes?
I mean, I eat both. Let's be honest here. I'm going to eat both. So. If I had to pick one, I would take Chick-fil-A, but the drive-through line's always too long in Boardman, so I head down to Cane's.
EB, what's your story about the, I guess, the fast food restaurants and the creepiness sometimes of their marketing?
I'm with you guys as far as the McDonald's goes, but I think the one that got creepy over the years was Burger King. Like, I know they switched to the mask and everything, but the Burger King dude is absolutely terrifying.
You mean like the plastic
Yeah,
thing?
big plastic
Yeah.
head.
Like they just did it recently or within the past, I guess you could say decade or so. I really don't remember, but like the Burger King dude that they've done like with the plastic head and just kind of running around in the robe, the dude's creepy as shit.
Yeah, can you imagine that guy or that mask kind of, you're looking out your windows one day or even at HQ or anything past midnight will scare the hell out of you, and he just walks by or just looks in the window. Like
That was one of their commercials where he was like looking in the window of somebody's house.
Yeah, or past 2 a.m.
Oh, yeah. Well, we know somebody on this panel is not allowed to be past 2 a.m. In scary places. Not it.
Yeah.
All right, let's get to some sports because
I missed that 10 o'clock horn that went off.
yeah, by a few hours. We were working. I mean, you can't say that we weren't. We were.
Oh,
So.
good. Paul was working on the Natter days. That's all he was working on.
Oh, sold out.
There you go.
Sold out.
First rule of YSN, we don't talk about what goes on in YSN.
Yeah, exactly.
She already calls it a He-Man Woman Haters Club. So what's it matter at this point? Guys, politics and sports. We talked about LeBron James and the like talking about bringing politics into sports. We want to kind of go reverse course here. And Donald Trump, our president today, coming out and talking to the Big Ten and feels good and confident that perhaps the Big Ten might have a season after all. Do we feel comfortable the other way around? We tell LeBron and all of the high-profile players to stay out of politics. Should we be telling our politicians to stay out of sports? Yes, no? What are your thoughts? Paul, go ahead.
Absolutely. Right now, in my opinion, he's just trying to buy votes because he knows if he can go out there and get the Big Ten to reverse skate and say, hey, you know what? By Thanksgiving, we're going to have football again. And guess what? All those people in the Midwest, in the Big Ten conference voting areas, those big states that he needs, guess what? They're all going to be like, hey, Donald brought Big Ten football back. So I think we're going to vote for him now. And he looks like a hero. And other presidents have done this in the past, too, where they've interjected in maybe a Major League Baseball strike or something with football. And it's just like, come on, guys. I mean, you've got bigger things to worry about. You got the coronavirus that's still out there. You've got, China who's over there, wanting to make bombs, and North Korea and all that stuff. Like pay attention to the stuff that probably matters. But right now, to him, it's election season. So those votes matter to him right now.
I've got China on lockdown. They're not going to bomb us.
I would say it does matter to people. That's why there's a sports show on YSN right now. People tend to gravitate to sports in desperate times and weird times. I mean, sports are a big part of our lives, whether we want to acknowledge it or not. People make money off of sports. People, they live for it. They live for the weekends, So I would say, I think it's a win-win move for him, for the president to kind of say, hey, look, guys, I tried to get these guys to roll. They didn't want to play ball, and it's a win for him because he made the attempt. And if he gets it, it's a win too. I don't think they should be in politics. I always think of politics with like McGuire and Rafael Palmeiro going, I did not take, I just don't like it. Leave sports alone.
I can respect that. Anybody else with a hot take on this? Quinn, EB, and welcome Ty Bartel.
I'm kind of with Billy. Like leave sports alone. I get it. You can have the sports fanatics. Like Obama was a big basketball guy, and Nixon made a big push for college football and having a national championship. But also, I'm not a fan when these guys kind of use the sport to kind of gain votes, which to me that's what it looked like, and that's being completely apolitical. Is you're saying you're going to go do something. Now what happens if it fails? Like, what if these guys are like, dude, stay out of our industry or stay out of our world, continue to protect the world, and he kind of falls flat on his face. So it can be a win-win, but it can also be a huge setup for failure too, because if nothing changes, then it just falls on deaf ears. So I'm all about presidents, and I love hearing, how they're big fans in whatever sport it is, but I don't like them using it to push a political agenda.
So let me ask you this. Let's twist the conversation a little bit and say, okay, let's say that the Big Ten buys into everything that President Trump had to say, and they come back, and 2 weeks in, you have, contracted players with viruses. What do you do then? I mean, you take the president's advice, or for better, for worse, and these young men and young ladies decide they contract the coronavirus. Who gets the finger pointed at them? Will it be President Trump, or will it be the Big Ten for basically going after what President Trump set out? That's the biggest question to me. EB, you kind of set off the story. What happens if this backfires? Quinn, is this something that you could see and go, well, President told us to, and he's the ultimate. I mean, he's the leader of the free world. If he tells you to do something, you should probably do it, right?
I mean, yeah, but they're going to just keep pointing the finger back and forth. I mean, you can make the argument Trump will just say, well, you should have taken better precaution or whatever. Like, you just go back and forth the whole time on it.
Interesting. Ty, you have a take on this? You're muted.
Yeah, what was the actual prompt again?
So President Trump met with the Big Ten officials, seemingly had a great conversation with them, and I just have to assume that it's to bring the Big Ten back into existence here, basically. And the question is, should the president get into sports the way we talked the other day? Should high-profile athletes get into politics?
I don't think they should. I think I've always been of the opinion, if you're a professional athlete, stay in your lane with sports. If you're a politician, president, doesn't matter what position you hold in politics, stay in your lane with politics. There you have your own issues to worry about. Just stay in your lane, especially if you have no expertise in the other person's lane. So I don't know why you're getting involved. I understand you can have an opinion, but like there's a certain line that is drawn when you can and can't or you should or shouldn't overstep that line for your opinion. And to also answer your second question too, I think as far as it's concerned with like the Big Ten, if they take his advice and it's bad advice, I mean, you're still your own person. You could also tell President Trump no right now and not do anything. You're your own person, so you need to take action and be responsible for the actions that you take, regardless of who said what. Doesn't matter who told you what to do, anything. You still have the final say in what you can and can't do.
See, I'd be interested because if a president, no matter who it was, told me to do something, there's a pretty good chance I'd do it, knowing that the repercussions typically, in every movie I see, in everything that I see on Netflix, usually doesn't end up well if you turn the president down. But I mean, if you're the commissioner of the Big Ten and you held to your guns and you said, we're not going to play because it was voted on, and president, no matter who it is, no matter your political affiliation, if he comes and tells you you need to play, are you playing? Let's go around the horn. Billy.
Yes.
Muncie?
Yeah.
I
Ty?
have a job next year.
That one's tough. I don't know if I have my experts and I know what's going on the field, I'd probably say no. I'm not going to let anyone else influence my decision. I'd probably say no.
Here comes an audit.
You're fired.
You're fired. It's huge. Terrific.
See you later.
Audit, Secret Service, you'll be bugging you.
Quinn, would you go against the president's wishes if you were the commissioner of the Big Ten?
I mean, I want to play, so whatever I have to do to play, I'm going to play.
Okay. EB.
That's a tough one. I probably would go for it, but there'd definitely be some sort of consideration. Like, it'd be either, okay, I'll open it back up to the vote under your litigation or whatnot. But I want somewhere on the dotted line. Hey, if this turns into hell on wheels, you're taking the blame.
So you want a little bit of PR protection, so to speak.
Oh yeah, absolutely. I mean, look, if it's Donald, if it's whoever, look, Donald, you take the blame on this one
Yeah, you take the heat, pal.
because look, I did what I can do, so now I'm doing it to keep you going.
I would make sure that at that press conference he was standing right next to me, or
yeah.
if we're in the Oval Office, making sure that he's the one
He probably would do it. That's the thing. He would
100%.
I think
get his face out there.
Yeah, because I think with him, he would love to say, "I did it, guys. It was terrific.
I did it. It was terrific.
It's huge. It's going to be a huge season for these guys. Huge.
It was big. Huge.
Yeah.
So
I mean, to open the vote back up to those guys, I mean, and that would be the thing. The NCAA or the Big Ten would have to come back out and say, okay, guys, listen, we're going to vote again. The president wants us to, really take in consideration his thoughts, and let's try to do this again and see if the vote would be any different than 11-3, which is what it was. So, I mean,
speaking of votes, we have a breaking news. Big Dogs of the Valley is back. We talked about it yesterday, brought to you by Baird Brothers. We had some registration issues that we tried to put a cap on it last year because there was an issue that somebody tried to cheat the system. So we took that out, and now we're putting it back in. So really what I'm saying is if you decide to cheat the system, there's not a whole lot we can do about it, and we feel bad because it's just a T-shirt. However, it is open to the public now. You don't need a registration. We are ready to go, and here are your 2020 Week 1 fall Big Dogs of the Valley candidates and nominees. Lydia Wilson from Heartland Christian. She is a volleyball player. Sharnae Wilson from East Liverpool, another volleyball player. Tori Long from Columbiana, volleyball. Paige Cole from Louisville, another volleyball player. And the fifth candidate are the entire cast of South Range cheerleaders who, I mean, this was the first ever time we've had cheerleaders nominated as a whole. And I'll tell you this, they cheered entirely out through that rain, that monsoon that they had to go through. So this was a very deserving first ever nomination. So breaking down more walls here in the House of Bricks is South Range. So get out and vote for your favorite on the Bear Brothers Big Dogs of the Valley. All it is ysnlive.com/Big Dogs. Here are your boys, and this is going to be a very competitive week for the Bear Brothers Big Dogs of the Valley. Zach Leonard, who had 4 touchdowns total on that Thursday night matchup against Jefferson. Clayton Medvec went 6 for 6 with extra points and included a 52-yard field goal, which, guys, you just don't see in high school ranks very much. Vinny Ballone from Lowellville, 54 yards passing, 4 touchdowns. Devin Sherwood from Fitch, 312 yards passing and 5 touchdowns. And Dom Shadle is from McDonald, 119 yards rushing, 67 yards passing, and 4 total touchdowns for the McDonald backfield extraordinaire. And again, you can go to ysnlive.com/Big Dogs and vote for your favorite. Vote as many times as you like. No registration needed. So that is open up. Flood the system. We're ready, and we are ready to take on as many views as humanly possible. So enjoy that. And the vote is open till Saturday night at midnight. So Sunday we'll announce our winner. Monday it starts all over again. So, and if you'd like to nominate
good nominees.
Yeah, if you want to nominate your favorite Big Dog of the Valley, all you got to do, head over to our Twitter, Facebook page for consideration. Need the player's name, school, and statistics to be considered. So thanks to iSynergy for fixing that issue for us. Appreciate them jumping right on it and fixing it so people can get out and vote for their favorite. Okay, so I want to go flip it back to where we started. Not so much the president, but being the commissioner of the Big Ten. Knowing everything that you need to know and seeing everything that you need to see at this point, do you feel that the Big Ten made a mistake in canceling this soon? And do you feel that they should come back and play sports in the fall? We'll start reverse skate, EB.
Yeah, I do think they made a mistake. Like I've said this from the beginning. I think everyone jumped the gun too soon, and they had it set up to where you could space out some of these games, or even if you need to eliminate games and do it every other week, there's a way to do it. It just feels like they never really looked into trying to do it. It was either all or nothing with them, and then they kind of switch the schedule around, and then I'm not sure why they switched the schedule around if they're just going to leave it up to the presidents to vote. And then you go back to it, and you only get Iowa, Nebraska, and Ohio State to vote for it. Well, if that's the case, then why not just let those teams kind of go rogue this year, or see if they can get picked up on another, in another conference, or with the, I guess, the SEC, the Big 12, and the ACC, so they can continue this going, because now it's not just on the schools. Like, these are parents and kids who are sitting here saying, like, no, we really want to play. And yes, I get it. They're student athletes. They're there to play. They kind of get a different treatment, even though the NCAA will say they don't, but they do. Let them go play, because if not, if you start to lose some of these kids, and as a coach, if you start to lose some of these potential recruits, then this isn't just going to affect 2020, but it's going to affect probably the 2022, 2023, and so on, because you're not getting out there. So I think the Big Ten did make a mistake. There was definitely a way that they could do it, even if they did a shortened season and went every other week or whatever. It just seems like they didn't really care too much to find a new way to do it.
I'm with you 100% on that. Q, your thoughts on it?
Damn, I tell you what, I hate following Eric, because he brings up great points, and I got nothing compared to that. Yeah, this is usually where Jeff comes in, and I let Jeff say something stupid and makes me look better. So that's kind of where I'm at.
Can we just give props to Jeff and his profile picture there?
Yeah, that's yeah.
Jeez.
I'm just gonna leave it there. No, I think they definitely canceled early, and yeah, I think they just canceled early. I got nothing. I can't be even close to Caleb.
Can we? Yeah. Let's get it back up. There it is.
Good take, Q.
Proud of you, buddy. Ty, what do you got?
I mean, I understand, like, we talked about it too. Like, you don't really want to be the first, and you don't want to be the last, right? And I think not Ohio State, I'm sorry, but the Big Ten itself wanted to kind of be like the Trailblazers, because they assumed that this is what the path everyone else was going to go down. Because I believe they canceled before, like, the whole announcement from Governor DeWine for high schools to play. So we assumed like that wasn't going to happen. So I think they tried to be trailblazers in it, and I don't think they made a mistake in trying to be trailblazers and say, okay, we're probably not going to have a season. Let's just do this early. I do think they made a mistake though when they had their redemption shot after the whole petition was signed, and they're like, all right, guys, everyone else is playing. Reconsider this, and they were like, no, we're not going to do that. So I think that's where the mistake was made. If I'm the Big Ten right now, and I see that if high schools are able to make this work in like Ohio and in the general areas, because I'm not exactly sure how high school football is working without throughout the Midwest where Big Ten schools are sanctioned. But like, especially like in Ohio, if like pro teams and if high school teams are able to do it, I don't see a reason why college teams can't do it. So I'd bring it back as well.
Great take. Mr. Munson, would you like to first address your wife's comments?
Hey, Jeff's a fan favorite, man. Everybody wants Betos back.
Everybody wants Grimace. Your thoughts on did the Big Ten pull this too quickly? And if you were the commissioner of the Big Ten, would you be reevaluating not only your stance but your position?
Absolutely. I think they did it too fast. I agree with Ty. They tried to be maybe a little bit of the Trailblazers and do it first, and then the Pac-12 jumped in there and, hey, yeah, we're going to stand strong. It's going to be all of us against everybody else. And then everybody else said, hey, enjoy being on the sidelines, fellas, because we're going forward. And I just think that they needed to reevaluate that now and really go back and talk to these presidents and chancellors again and say, hey, now that we've had some time, what do you guys think? You want to go back and play? And I guarantee you the vote would not be 11-3 as a no. I think it'd be a lot different right now if they went back and re-voted, because you can set the parameters out there. I was reading today, like Notre Dame's going to have 20% capacity in their stands, and it's all students and staff, and that's it. Nobody from outside the campus is going to be allowed in to those stadium and watch a football game. So it's, I mean, hey, listen, what do they got to lose? They got their TV network deal. They're going to get their money there. They're going to go play in a good conference. They're going to be playing big games almost every week. And for the TV stations and these broadcasters, this is a win-win for them. Hey, you're guaranteed you put a game on, people are going to watch it because people can't go to the stadiums. So the Big Ten Conference needs to kind of reevaluate that and go, hey, listen, we can get some more revenue coming in from the TV, and we can get back on the game here and get back on the horse. But it's just crazy because, I mean, in my personal opinion, to kind of go off the rails here a little bit, I've been reading these things that, the CDC even came out and said, well, yeah, the numbers we put out there, they weren't really that true. Some of these things, these people had other conditions, and some of it all wasn't COVID. And it's like, wait a second, you're saying that your numbers are not even correct. So it's like, I mean,
can we take a minute to praise Mark Franken and all that he has done on social media? Like, I feel like he has been the brainchild for all of these numbers are false and leading the charge on that. So if that actually happened, Paul, the CDC goes, we may or may not have fudged the numbers a little bit.
Yeah, I'll find the article and send it on our thread. I mean, it was insane. And I'm like, wait a second.
That should be punishable like by jail time.
Yeah. Yeah.
People lost their jobs and their livelihoods because these guys were pumping out numbers. If that's the case, there should be a lawsuit, and we're going to see it during commercials on Maury Povich sometime very soon.
Yeah. I mean, the best one I saw, and like I said, to go off the rails here a little bit, it was in California, and there was a press conference, and they had the governor there, and they had one of these health department people there, and they were talking about, what do you classify as a COVID death? And they said pretty much anybody who has tested positive for COVID-19, that's a COVID death. And the guy's like, but wait a second, what if I walked outside, got hit by a bus? That killed me. But you do a test on my body afterwards, and I was positive for COVID. The health person said, yeah, that would be classified as a COVID death. It's like, wait a second. I got hit by a bus.
They were getting money for COVID deaths. They were getting like bonus money.
Exactly.
Yeah, and listen, hospitals are businesses too. What I'm really interested in is they have to, like, let's say you go into the emergency room and you haven't had a COVID test yet. They have to treat you as a COVID patient without knowing if you are or you aren't, and that goes into the numbers. Those are the statistics that I've been hearing. That's when you talk to my father-in-law, that is one of the things that he speaks so like diligently of. He says, hey, they don't know, they don't understand, and this is what they're saying, this is what it is, and that's why the numbers were up. Now, if they finally came out, because I've been wondering when the day was it going to be when our kids were our age and they were going to say, well, back in the day, COVID wasn't a real thing. You know what I mean? It was just a manufactured scare tactic. There's conspiracy theories on both sides. But if they actually came out and said that, somebody went too deep. Somebody probed too deep and hit something. So,
and that's the thing. So now you've scared these people enough that they're stopping all these different things.
Here we go. Our resident researcher, Jeff Bezos.
It just kind of blows me away because they took a lot of this stuff at face value.
Does anybody else read Bezos's comments like Jeff Bezos would say them?
Yeah. They said 6% of the COVID deaths were not COVID deaths.
We're not.
We're crap, guys.
You got to get the eyes.
Ridiculous.
We're not COVID deaths. You got to get the eyes looking up at the ceiling.
COVID deaths.
COVID deaths. Mac, how you feeling about this?
I'm gonna go a different conspiracy theory of mine. I think what happened here is the Pac-10 and Big 12 got really terrified with the players union stuff. So I think that added on to it, and
hold on, Billy. You got to switch that around. You said Pac-10 and Big 12. Big 10, Pac-12.
Whatever.
I hope you all don't eat dinner.
Whatever. The two stupid conferences that are being stupid right now. I think they're falling under. They were really intimidated by the players union trying to come together, and they used COVID as because you haven't heard anything about these player union stuff come up again since they're out. You just haven't.
Right.
So I think if I'm the commissioner, I wouldn't start back up because I don't want to deal with that.
Billy, why are you like changing colors in the rainbow? Like,
there's
TV on?
There's a TV on. Yeah.
Okay. I thought you were in a disco.
Yeah,
There's always a party.
He's getting down over there.
I wouldn't even want to bring it back up. Somebody would have to force me to reopen. That's kind of, if I was the commissioner. Now, as a fan, I obviously want it back on. I'm not saying that, but if I was the commissioner, I wouldn't even want that conversation back on the table because you're not getting help from anybody. There's no NCAA is not gonna. They're not gonna step in, and they haven't. They're not gonna step in and say you can't do that, can't do that. I'm not. I don't want to be the one responsible to have that discussion because it's a lose-lose no matter how I look at it.
Yeah, I'm with you. All great points, guys. All great points. We're going to get to a break here. We come back. Still a lot to talk about, including what football games we've got coming up this week. Paul Munson and I will give you a complete rundown on all the games and who is going to be broadcasting them for YSN. Don't forget, we have the G. Bourbon Farms What's Your Beef coming up in just a little bit right here on YSN.
Hello, I'm Greg Burbick with G. Burbick Farms. For the last 100 years, my family has farmed in Columbiana and Mahoning counties. I began raising cattle in 1996 with the goal of providing a better product for you and your family on the dinner table. Our grass-fed and grain-supplemented Black Angus beef are raised with no hormones, steroids, or antibiotics. We're known for our hometown-friendly service and incredible tasting products. We're locally owned and have customers across the tri-state area. Our products go from our farm to your family. Stop by our farm on New Buffalo Road or visit us on the web at gburbickfarms.com. Don't forget to like us on Facebook. G. Burbick Farms, it just tastes better.
21
Good evening,
News.
and thank you for joining us.
Let's get right to our top
More
story
experienced reporters
A new Wilmington
At
restaurant.
GM Lordstown,
telling more local stories
We'll look at
baby
efforts
boy
to
is
curb
recovering from a broken.
around our
Good
valley
Community in
afternoon.
Niles,
We are
one
here in
Triangle Valley
Youngstown, right
business.
because you expect
important for everyone.
No place like home.
more local news.
In Mercer County
Before
Court.
they become life-threatening.
21 News is our valley's #1 local news.
Welcome home to a home made homier with Baird Brothers Fine Hardwoods. Inspiration starts at BairdBrothers.com and is turned into reality when high-quality hardwoods are delivered right to your home. Baird Brothers has the latest design trends, shiplap and skinny lap interior siding, antique oak rustic flooring, and, well, you'll find them all at BairdBrothers.com. Ordered easily, delivered conveniently, enjoyed comfortably. BairdBrothers.com.
And welcome back to the YSN Power Hour. And somehow Paul's mic went on during the commercial, so we'll unmute him now. I don't know how that worked. It was nuts. Usually our mics are muted during the commercial breaks, and we thank all of our sponsors. At the bottom of our screen, it'll flip over in the next couple minutes to see new sponsors. And our boys from Clientele were in the office today. Appreciate them stopping by, shooting a video, officially signing on board with YSN. So, EB, your favorite people are officially on board, my friend. You have a couple fine words for the fine folks over at Clientele?
Keep up the good work, and anyone looking for a haircut, awesome place to go.
The best.
Talk some sports, get your hairs did.
The best in the business. And
Can I
even though
just
they
say
did
as a sponsor in the summer?
What?
Can I just say this as a sponsor in the summer?
Yeah.
You don't really realize it, but I'm a super small business, and I became an advertisement for YSN, and I must have gotten 10 to 12 calls about doing baseball lessons. Okay, so. And for my little place, that's a pretty big deal. So, and I had an opportunity to put my biz in front of, I think over the course of the summer, it was like 20,000 eyeballs. So, and they're doing that this last weekend. So this is a great time for your business to jump on ship and really put your name out there.
Thank you, sir. Appreciate it. So 114,000 over a 3-day span here at YSN. Over the last I want to get this right. Come on. Where's that? It is an obscene amount of. Where's the dashboard? I'm going to give you the numbers over the past month since the sports have come back into the world here at YSN. Over the past 30 days, we've had 271,882 eyeballs right here on the network. So if you're looking to make a change, if you're looking to do it for significantly more or less than television advertising with the other guys, no matter how many emails they send out, make sure that you're hitting us up here on the network because we have more than one game. I'm just going to throw it out there. In fact, Paul, we have how many on Friday?
So on Friday, we are going to have, as of right now, 23 games, possibly 24 as soon as the Warriors get on board, which
hey,
they will be.
Westbridge, come on in. Water's warm.
And that'll be 24, and then we'll have 2 games on Saturday. So on the network, we're going to have 26 potential games on the Friday, Saturday. I mean, Friday's going to be huge. I mean, 23, possibly 24 football games on Friday. That's just, I mean, unbelievable. I'm anticipating watching out of the corner of my eye on my phone as I do my game Friday, the audible call, because they are going to be insane. So,
hey, there's Ann Myers. Had a conversation with her earlier today. Love Myers Family Insurance, and that is one of the original sponsors of YSN, and loves doing business with us. And we'll get you hooked up with Billy Mack. That's no problem at all. We go from, I'm sorry, Ann, I got to.
Baseball's easy.
We go from, we go right to that guy. The best place to get a haircut, clientele. Absolutely, we're with you, and then he drops this into so.
Jeff.
Yeah, so great.
He'll be on a call this weekend. Him and the Quinster right there. Lost our business.
That's not this network. That's not the. We are the network. The network.
Yeah, okay.
That is a different thing altogether. But Ann loves what we do. As a matter of fact, that should be coming up anytime. The changeover. I want to make sure that this happens because it's been bugging out lately. So hopefully that turns over. It just did right now. All right, there we go. Helps with a little bit of user generation. All right, so let's talk Friday games. Beaver Local versus Barnesville. I don't know a whole hell of a lot about Barnesville, but I do know that Beaver Local is looking to avenge the loss against the Potters in Week 1. So
you know, if you take her comment down, she can see her ad.
Well, hang on, Paul. I think she'd rather see her family than her advertisement, but that's just me. Maybe I know Ann Myers better than you do, but just saying. Probably not. You babysat her kids, so and which is why I think we had the conversation we did earlier today. Where is the dang comments box? There it is. There we go. See, there it is. We love you too, Ann. Thank you very much for all your support, and we'll get you hooked up with Max Baseball Academy to get Robbie up and going. So, all right. Beaver Local Barnesville. I like Beaver Local in this one. Coach McKenzie is not going to take a loss to East Liverpool laying down. He's going to have the troops ready to go, and he's going to storm the barn on Friday night. So I'm going to be interested. Mike McKenzie, I want to say little Mike, but Michael McKenzie will have the call on YSN Beaver Local. Another game that I'm really interested in, we will have on Friday. 2 winners on Friday night or Saturday night. Was it Friday? I don't know.
They were Friday.
I think it was both Friday. South Range and Girard. Britt Taylor will have the call. We're not going to get picks or anything, but guys, you got a kid tonight. This is going to be a great game.
Absolutely.
That was a good game last year, wasn't it?
Yes.
Yeah, it was a great game last year. It's at South Range, so it's sure to be a.
It was at South Range last year. This year it's at Girard.
Correct. That's what I was saying. Appreciate you, Paul. Here's a good one. There's a lot of eyes that are going to be on this one. Niles versus Poland, and we have Anthony and Luke that are going to be on this one. Anthony Malone and Luke Schuster that are going to be calling the game. I mean, Poland coming off a tough loss and Niles off of a big win. Do you think this one has what it takes to be the primetime matchup on YSN? Paul's on.
Somebody's calling me again. They keep calling me. They're like, I don't know, 3 to 4. I'm on the Power Hour. Leave me the hell alone.
I hope it wasn't Carrie.
Take an iPad out there instead.
Turn your Do Not Disturb on, dude.
Yeah, I know.
You got to be better than that.
Oh, I really hope that wasn't your wife.
It
Hubbard,
was. I know her
Hubbard
phone
versus
calls, don't worry.
Jefferson. Jamie and Anthony Romo will have that call. That'll be at Jefferson. So the
That's going to be a beatdown.
the young bloods are taking it on the road. We're not doing picks yet, man. That's on Friday. Lakeview Struthers. I think this one could be a nice win for Struthers. Lakeview, though, I think they've got better since last year. I think that they're not the team they were last year. I think they're trying to turn a corner. Paul, you'll have this with Rob, and Rob will be making his YSN debut. You want to say a little something about Rob?
Rob's a good buddy of mine, been a friend of mine for a long time, and he's a diehard Struthers guy. And I talked to him last night, and he was excited when I got him a call. I was like, "You want to do some football?" He's like, "Well, I'll be at the game." I'm like, "Well, yeah, now you can be at the game and be in the press box with me." And he was like amped up. I mean, this guy's out there already. He's like, I'm going to talk to the coaches. I'm going to get interviews. I'm going to go interview some players. I'm going to go do this. And I was like, hey, man, take the reins off him. Let him go. I did have to tell him, though, we have to watch. He's a fired up kind of guy. So he kind of shoots off the handle sometimes with some of his verbiage. I said, hey, we just need to tone that down a little bit. But I want that enthusiasm. So it's going to be a great time in the press box on Friday with him. So we'll have some
Quinn,
fun.
you got a call coming in. I don't know who it is. We're just going to let it ring.
I don't know. I don't know how to work that stuff, so I'm not going to go pushing buttons.
And Billy, is it you?
Nope.
Okay. I thought you were calling Testa's show. You're a little bit late. Edison versus, is it Connaughton Valley? I just have Con Valley. Is it Connaughton Valley?
Connaughton Valley.
All right, Connaughton Valley. The Edison team will be on that. Columbiana versus East Palestine. Tim and Dan Figley will have the call from the Bulldog. I almost said Bulldog headquarters. Bulldog country.
Clips.
It's like, how many points can the Clippers put on them again?
99.
See, I think it's going to be. I think it's going to be different. I
I think it'll be a close game. I think it'll be actually.
It's like, well,
It's not going to be an 83-0. That's.
I think if Columbiana tries to put big points like that up again, I think we might see Tony bury somebody.
Yeah, I know the big dog wasn't too enthused about it last year. Again, I would have last year's score up everywhere.
Maybe they should just stop somebody instead of complaining about it.
Wow, yikes! Easy, man. I still have to live here. Let's move on. United versus Lisbon. Rick Daly will have the call. United, they impressed me. I'm not going to lie to you. They impressed me wholeheartedly. Lisbon, I think, can be a bounce-back team this year. I don't think they're going to be a team that loses. Well, obviously, they're not going to lose, 9 games because there's not 9 games.
It's a rivalry game, too. So
yeah, it is.
Why is it Lisbon has Lisbon and Columbiana rival everybody? Like, everybody is a rival of those two.
No, it's just Columbiana, man. Everyone hates us.
Columbiana is rivaled of
Everyone
East
hates us, too.
Palestine,
Everybody hates Lisbon
Latonia.
for other reasons.
What's that?
Everybody hates Lisbon for other reasons.
Why is that?
Other reasons. I'm not.
Do you
getting-
want to
No, I
elaborate?
No, I'm not getting into it.
I'm guessing he can figure out what you're trying to throw down there, Quinn. So
Oh, I know.
you name drop him every other day. So
I know. He knows.
Champion versus Southeast, Ty and Scott. I mean, Ty, are you excited about this game? I mean, you see a 33-3 game last week, and this time you get to see a champion team with a big win over Crestview right in your backyard in Ravenna.
And I'm super excited to see this because like we said, Champion they're known for breeding some of the best athletes in the area. So it's going to be exciting to see some of these guys up close and personal. And I thought it was a huge win over Crestview too. Week 1, it's opposite of what I called because I thought the View had them for sure. But no, I'm excited to see what Champion can do at Southeast.
All right, Southern versus Wellsville. Gary and Jason will have the call down in Tiger Country. Then we move down to East Liverpool versus Indian Creek. Tommy Pease and Rob will have the call on that one. Here's one I'm really looking forward to, you guys. I really think this could end up being the primetime matchup of the week on YSN. Springfield versus Western Reserve. Ryan Wolf, Mark Franken will have the call from Western Reserve. And this, to me, this isn't the same reserve team. I feel like I'm saying this all over. This isn't the same reserve team we saw last year. New leadership, new opportunities. And they've got a lot of tape on a Springfield team that is very much the same as they were last year, but just a little BFS. be bigger, faster, stronger. So we'll see what comes of that. Can't wait to pick this game on Friday.
And both those teams cruised to an easy win the first week too. So we'll see how they can both come in there guns a-blazing.
Yeah, I think Springfield's going to have to open up the playbook a little bit more than they did last week, so we'll see how that goes. Here's the team that they did not have to open the playbook up against, Mineral Ridge taking on a Sebring team. I will have that call with Jake Silak. Two teams that are desperate for a victory, and both these coaches are fantastic coaches and great community guys, so this would, either way, this is going to be a big victory for somebody. Looking forward to calling this one. Then in McDonald, we have Lowville versus the Blue Devils. Jim Francicelli and Mike Porter will have the call for us. Louisville taking on Glen Oak. It'll be Rob and Ben, Robbie Rob, as they like to call him. I know he hates that, so I want to make sure I throw it out there.
He hates it so bad. If you listen to their call, Ben, the entire game called him Robbie Rob. Robbie Rob this, Robbie Rob that.
And now he's being called around town Robbie Rob. So it is it is awesome. Switka chiming in. You need to bring Sebring some life, DJ. I'm trying, brother. I'm trying. You know who's bringing them life is their coach, Matt Seidel. I love that guy. He's the kind. I mean, we're same generation. We're in school at the same time. That guy is an inspiration. He's got his kids all turned around. He's told me some unbelievable stories that I absolutely love, and high character guy in Sebring. Can't root for him hard enough. So I hope Sebring is able to turn it around under his tutelage. And worst case scenario, he's the first coach in Sebring history to ever lead them to the playoffs. So I think there's something to that. I mean, his name is going to go down in history one way or the other. But I'm a big fan of Matt. So good luck to them on Friday night. We got Newton Falls versus Liberty. Derek and Dylan are going to take that game. Excited to see. Yeah, I'm really, really proud of those guys. I mean, Derek, this is his second year. Dylan, this is his first year. He's a rookie with us. But both kind of said, yeah, we're in. We want this. Derek is a unbelievable announcer. He's a hidden gem. And we get our first look at the Newton Falls Tigers, guys, and I'm excited to see that. So to battle the Tigers and the Leopards going head-to-head on Friday.
And that'll be interesting because Newton Falls had that first week off, so they've only signed up for 5 weeks of football. So, I mean, them having that extra week off, was it beneficial for them to not schedule a game last week and come into this one fresh?
Yeah, I mean,
better have good kick coverage for Liberty. That's all I'm going to say, man.
They got a good kickoff return?
Very good kick return. Every kick return.
That's one of the advantages of, I guess, not playing, is that you got to sit back and watch everybody on YSN and say, hey, this is the team we're playing next week. Let's get a good look at them now. So hopefully there was a couple purchases from the Falls last week. Cheney and Howland, Quinn and Jeff Betos will have this call. Quinn, this is going to be a night and day between what you saw last week and the offense that you see this week. You excited to see some high-powered offense go head-to-head?
Yeah, I guess so. I mean, how high-powered can you be if you don't score? How high-powered are you?
I mean, Cheney's got playmakers. We're
fine and dandy, but if you don't score, how high-powered are you?
Well, we'll
Allen
see.
didn't score against Canfield. Like, come on.
I would bet you're going to see some high-octane offense. Fitch versus Ursuline. This is an interesting matchup because 2 big wins last week, and they're squaring up to battle this week. Dom and Ian will have the call. Dom Joseph, Ian O'Brien will be high above the press box at Stambaugh Stadium, calling this game for us.
That one's interesting because I think those two with Springfield, maybe Sprinkle and some South Range, have a really good chance to make some noise in the postseason. So it's a good test for both teams.
Switka is already acclimating himself with the Betos and Pushkar crew. And,
on board, baby.
And look who's back. Come on, Q. Be better than that. Going to be a great game.
Can we use hey, I thought you were working with him as you do with me when I'm working and.
Yeah, throw shade. If you want, I mean, we do it to you all the time.
Good work. Dude, sweep something.
And there is 100% chance we're getting FaceTimed after this while he's waxing the floor.
Be a Yankee. Get swept. Come on.
Oh, wow. Thorny and Jason Ray have an unbelievable matchup. At in Harding, it's Harding and Mooney. I think this one has all the makings to be what should have been, in my opinion, probably the featured game. And these guys love it. They can't wait for it. They're dying to get to Friday night. Then you have East versus Boardman, and we got Jeff Hamilton and the crew out in Boardman taking care of this one. Excited to have this on board. This is our first look at East, is it not? We didn't have East last week, did we?
I don't think so. No.
I don't think so. So it'll be exciting to see East as well as the Spartans try to bounce back from that rough game that they had against Fitch. Camel and Crestview. Ronnie Potesta, Larry Scragg will have the call. We'll have that live from the brand new facilities in Crestview. That's so beautiful. So we're
opening up that new field.
And we're going to have all the coverage from that. That'll be an early game, about 6:15, as I'm told, that they will go live with all the ceremonies. So we'll try to give that to them as well. Then you have Salem versus Canton South. Matt and Jared did a fantastic job the West Branch game last week. They'll have the call against Canton South as the Quakers try to bounce back from their Week 1 loss to West Branch. Notre Dame versus Canfield. Richie and Gary, a couple Canfield products, will have that game. And then we'll have the West Branch game as well. So fingers crossed for that one. But on Saturday, you got a couple games to tune into on the network. Leetonia versus Valley Christian. Both teams looking pretty good to start the season. Leetonia beating Southern. Valley Christian opening up a can on East Palestine. Derek and Dylan will do double duty. They'll have that game as well. And then I will help out Dom O'Brien in Warren JFK on Saturday as they take on St. Thomas Aquinas, the Warren JFK Eagles. So that's the team. I'm really excited to be able to watch this team in person because they put up 39 points in a monsoon. I can only imagine what it's going to be like if it's dry. So exciting week on the network, guys. And I mean, that alone, just going through it, there's 24 games if we add West Branch on Friday, 2 games on Saturday. So you're talking about 26 games that you can sit back and enjoy. And if you don't want to pay the $9.99, I get it. I understand it. We got you covered as well because you have the Audible call. You can get a little piece of all these games. But if I were you, there's a lot of featured matchups on this. Spend the $9.99, get yourself a couple games, and go back and forth.
Choose from.
I mean, it's like if I'm a consumer right now, and I am of our own network, I'm probably watching 3 games at once and then doing the Audible call on top of that. So, but I can work like that. Ron was complaining that he can't watch 2 things at one time. I think you have to, at this day and age, you have to be able to watch multiple things.
When you're 80, it's hard to do that.
Jeez, oh man. Wow.
Billy Mack, just full of them today.
Well, I know that Ron's not going to be getting any baseball lessons anytime soon, so.
Listen, I'm always ready for the backlash. My Twitter account is right here. It's at Max Baseball Academy. So
I don't think you want Ron tweeting at you. If you go and look at his tweets and his mentions, that's not a place for the faint at heart.
I just meant for anybody. You can just come at me. Listen, I got time at night, 3 a.m. I troll with the best of them.
Can we just make a show at 3 a.m. for you? That's the Billy Mack Twitter hour.
Oh,
and you just do a show and you just read tweets.
Late night.
I'm on it like 3 a.m. Like that's what I do at 3 a.m. I'm on Twitter like in baseball conversations and looking and talking and yeah.
I would love to just have it so it like live tweets you. Like you're actually talking to the camera, like what people are saying to you on Twitter, and you get your frustrated face. Let me get close to the camera because this is what I think it looks like.
Filter myself because I go, what in the?
That's what it looks like. It looks a lot like a Reliable Sources video that I put out about 2 months ago with Stone Cold Steve Austin. So, all right, guys, let's get back to our G. Burbick Farms. What's your beef?
Wait, can we do something right before then?
Sure, it's your show, Billy.
All right. I just want to say this is an important day. All right. So I came across these things today. There's 2 things that happened on this day. Today, 30 years ago, Ken Griffey Jr. and Senior played for the first time ever on the same field. First father-son in baseball.
Okay, that's cool.
And also, 13 years ago, Michigan got their ass beat by Appalachian State.
Appy State, that's right, on the blocked field goal.
In fairness, that Appy State team was insanely good.
It was still a 1AA school beating a Power 5 Michigan
They
team.
were the North Dakota State before.
And they were ranked 5th at the time.
They were
too.
damn good.
Quinn, did you just defend Appy State on that?
They were damn good, dude. They were damn good.
That's
They
fine.
beat us- they beat Wycombe playoffs. They were good.
Against Ohio State and beat them.
Appy
Like-
State was good.
The idea is for it to sting as much as possible for Michigan fans, not to be like, well, they were really good, so it's not that bad of a
Everybody
loss.
else on this panel probably. But at the end of the day, Appy State was good.
Yeah, well, Michigan could have they could have lost to Bethany that night, and the world would have it would just flipped upside down on them. Like, don't help these Michigan fans, Quinn. What's wrong
Yeah,
with you?
you got to pound it into them a little bit. They were
Yeah,
ranked
what's-
5th in the nation. 5th in the nation. You schedule a cupcake school and they block a punt and almost take it back for a touchdown to beat you. Michigan.
Now here comes Switka to the rescue.
Told you. Appy
Wait.
State was good.
We're listening to Switka. That's your validation is Switka?
Yeah.
I mean, you can take it from me. I've been around it long enough. I know. Like, Appy State was good. They were really good. Coming off back-to-back national titles, they were pretty damn good.
But not good compared to.
Michigan or anybody else
I
that's
mean, Michigan
like
shouldn't have been
D1.
ranked 5th anyway, but that's okay.
I mean, they were pretty good that year.
Yeah, they were pretty good.
Yeah, they were so good they lost to Appy State.
But Appy State was national champions. They were the NDSU of their time.
They were. They were damn good.
I feel terrible bringing this up.
You should. Well, you shouldn't feel bad. Quinn should feel bad. Like,
I feel terrible.
we're trying to put salt in the wound here a little bit.
I'm saying Appy State was good. Don't treat Appy State like a cupcake school because they weren't.
They would have won games in the Big Ten that year.
Yeah, they would have won games in the Big Ten that year.
3.
They would have beat Indiana. They would have beat Illinois. They would have probably beat Minnesota because Minnesota was terrible. Who else was in the Big Ten then?
Well, the teams haven't changed much.
I need to get. I finally figured out who Quinn reminds me of. Go ahead. Continue on with this.
There's just no way week in and week out. They don't have they didn't, even if they're as good as you claim them that they are, they don't have the depth of a Power 5 conference team, period. So the week one, they got them on, they got them on week one. I'm not doing this. You're making me defend Michigan and I'm not doing it. See what you did to me, Quinn?
All right, so I was going to put a picture of Oscar the Grouch. I can't get there right now. You are literally the Oscar the Grouch. If this was Sesame Street,
I'm not grouching on anything. Appy State was good.
like get in your trash can. Like that's what you need to do. Like I'm going to get you a giant trash can, and you're going to talk out of it, and you're going to be Oscar the Grouch. Because you are just an absolute grouch. Every day you are a grouch.
I'm not grouching at all. I'm just giving Appy State credit where that's due. That's all.
Yeah, well, Oscar doesn't think he's a grouch either. I've learned that with 2 3-year-olds at home. I have to explain to them. Now, maybe I need to explain to you. Oscar doesn't think he's a grouch, but everybody else does. You, sir, are a grouch.
Thanks.
And he thanks me, just like Oscar does. So great job, Quinn. You're fitting into the mold very well. You two will have I say you two, it's Quinn and EB have been so nice to be able to, you're going to do a volleyball game for me tonight. Is that right?
I'm going to literally sit there because I don't have a damn clue about volleyball.
Oscar
Bump
the
set,
Grouch.
bump set
I'm
spike.
gonna be Eric on our broadcast and stare off into the clouds the whole time.
Mountain Dew withdrawal.
You're inside EP, man. There ain't much to stare off into.
Oh,
I'll stare at their wall of championships and
Yeah, stop there because I know where you were going. I know where you were going. That's not a good place to go. Not a good place to go. What else you got? Oh, good. Well, Betos backs you up.
I'm telling you, Appy State was good.
Did you not catch the sarcasm right there?
I don't care. Look it up. They were good.
Yeah, they were good. They beat Michigan.
yeah.
So
That's all they needed, and they
That's-
got
that's
paid
all we
to do
care
it
about.
too. They
Yeah,
got paid to
fantastic.
kick their butt.
wasn't that YSU beat Pitt a few years ago, right? That was kind of the same situation. Maybe not
2012.
as huge, but it
2012.
was a big win for me. Was that the Wolford era?
Yes.
Yeah. So big wins. Big wins. I like when small schools beat big schools, even if they beat my school. Because typically, I don't have a school when it comes to. Oh boy.
Betos, go to work.
Yeah, like there's got to be a floor that needs mopped somewhere. Like or a door that needs unjammed, or Betos, he's got those keys just jingling. But
It's got him on that big ring.
I'm trying not to cough right now. All right, let's do our G. Berwick Farms. What's your beef? Let's go with Ty because he hasn't spoken the entirety of
He's
the
been
show.
muted the whole time.
Ty, I'm so sorry, buddy. Go ahead.
No, I really don't even have much beef today. Everything's going good today. Everything's running smooth. Just excited for some for football Friday. So I mean, not really any beef today.
And how far do you have to travel from your place to? And you got the dog out. The dog's there.
Oh yeah, there he is.
How far do you got to go from your place to Ravenna High School?
It's less than 5 minutes away from my house. So it's a good week this week.
We know you're at work, Betos.
You work.
He's on the show.
I am waking around. Oh, there we go. He changed it. Walking. I'm just surprised he knew there was a silent L in there. So let's go Q. What do you got?
Honestly, I don't have much beef today either. Probably the only beef I had was Doyle's. It sounded like they were trying to knock down the wall earlier. So that's about all I got.
That was the most pleasant you've been the entire show. Thank you very much, Oscar.
And Appy State was a god squad back then, so there's some other beef, I guess.
Wow, he's just hyping these guys up like they were.
Are you getting checks? You getting checks from Appy State?
No, I wish.
Now you sound like another employee.
Send me gear. That's all I want. Just send me gear.
Now you sound like Steve. EB, go ahead.
My beef, I'm going to go with DeWine. I tuned into his press conference, and I thought it's supposed to be a coronavirus update, and all he talked about were his laws that he wants to pass for the Ohio State Patrol and gun laws, and it's just turned into more so, him talking about his agenda than the task at hand, which I thought was this pandemic that we have going on or whatever it is, and now it's just mostly him listening to himself talk.
Well, he doesn't have the athletes or the parents of athletes anymore to hang on to his every word. So, Muncie. Sorry, go ahead.
Quinn was done, I guess.
I didn't say anything.
I'm sorry, EB.
I just said you weren't wrong.
Yeah. Oh gosh, it is
Yeah,
Tuesday. It's been a long week. It's only Tuesday. Muncie, go ahead.
I'm just gonna go with the easy one today. My beef's with Betos, dude. Be on the show or leave us alone. Come on, man. You're there sweeping, mopping floors, opening doors, checking things out. Jiggling your little keys as you go up and down the hallway, and doing your job. Or sit your ass down in one of those classrooms, pull your phone up, and join the show. It's only an hour. It's not that bad. You'll be okay. If not, then leave us the hell alone.
What was the Halloween movie? They had their own recorder, like their own camcorder. Blair Witch Project. Does anybody think that if Betos was doing it from work, it would look a lot like the Blair Witch Project?
We need to get him like that harness where the thing sits out in front of him, and
that's what I was about to say. We need to get him a chest strap with a phone so he can just walk around.
I'm in a closet right now.
This is the classroom I got to sweep later, so hey, check this one out. I got to mop these floors over here. These windows are dirty. I'll clean them later. Jesus, terrible. Yankees aren't in first place anymore.
Yeah. I just want to see him go into the lunchroom and make a pizza and take a bite. Oh, it's hot. It's hot.
Oh, Carrie, this is exactly what we did on Saturday night. This is all we did.
Oh, shit, this is hot. It burned my lips. I'm going to die over here.
This is very good. I don't like this.
This is not good.
Everybody out there is sitting there wondering what the hell we're talking about. Yeah. Everybody here knows. Ty doesn't. I feel bad for Ty because he wasn't here on Saturday, but soon he'll come back. He'll make
that was a show in itself. If there had been a camera there for that duration, it was a show in itself.
The fact that he couldn't get his breath. Oh, here we go. Here we go.
You can all go fornicate yourself.
There it is. Billy Mack, take us home.
How the hell did he spell fornicate right?
He had 22 minutes between comments.
Yeah,
I'm-
there are dictionaries somewhere in that school.
Please, Jeff doesn't know where the library is.
Oh, Jesus. I don't really have too many beefs. I didn't. I was going to have one, but I'm going to go with Quinn just for the simple matter that he thinks Appalachian State could have go undefeated in the SEC and Big Ten.
They would not have gone undefeated. They would have won games.
You talked them up there, Quinn.
They would have won games. They would have beat Iowa, or not Iowa. They would have beat Indiana.
Champs
Beat Illinois.
What are they? They think they were what? Central Florida? Wasn't it Central
Billy, the
Florida?
six of us can go out there and beat Illinois in football.
I don't
He
know,
just told us how he did it.
I spoke into my phone. His phone was like, I do not understand. Please repeat yourself.
You can't
I
even
said
take credit.
fornicate, silly theory, fornicate.
Oh gosh. Oh, all right. My beef. Really, it's kind of. I mean, like, I'm not gonna call Quinn out, but like, stop being such a grouch. You got life good, dude.
Grouchy.
You are grouchy.
Give
Like,
credit
you're
where credit's due.
constant.
You don't do it with LeBron. You don't do it with Appy State. Pretty soon you're going to say North Dakota State stinks. Come on.
North Dakota, who?
Give credit where credit's due.
Dude. I mean, just stop being a little grouch. That's all I'm asking. I mean, you're
Hey,
the uncle.
but you know what?
You're Uncle Quinn.
Jeff, I need Jeff.
We got to be happy that all of a sudden, though, we put him in front of a microphone in a football game, and he's like, so, you know, at
I
least,
need
hey,
Jeff.
he
That's what it
can,
comes down to. I need Jeff.
he can be the grouch.
I
he
think
can
you
be the
guys will have
grouchier,
fun
but put him on
during
show.
a volleyball game tonight. I really do. I think you're going to have a good time. It's a fast game. It's an exciting game. You guys have my alma mater, East Palestine. I think they play Lisbon. So thank you for doing it. Obviously, I owe you, and we've already talked about the payment will be G. Burbick Farms because, well, like Uncle Eddie, I like paying in meat.
From Betos.
Yeah, and a back rub from Betos. That's what you get. That's the cash in. So, guys, another great Power Hour, especially the end. That was fun. So we appreciate you all tuning in for the YSN Power Hour. Tune in tomorrow 3 to 4 right here on YSN. Until then, that's going to do it for us. So long, everybody.